What is good, YouTube? What is good? Welcome into another show once again. I'm your boy, Tavares Wilson, host and founder of LastWord Productions. As you all know by now, always get the last word, man. So we here another Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern Time, man. If y'all not doing so already, man, if you're tuning into the show right now, go ahead, hit like, subscribe on the YouTube channel, man. Go ahead, hit the bell notification, be notified whenever we go live. And be sure that you'll follow me on my other platforms, man. I'm on Facebook, I'm on IG, I'm on TikTok, Twitter. You know, look at the handle. 9 out of 10 times I'm there. So, without further ado, I'm gonna get right into the show, man. We should be having our old, counterparts joining up on us shortly. And speaking them up, there go one right there. So there go two right there.
There we go.
What's going on, y'all?
What's the word, my boy? Yeah, bro.
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. So I was just about to get into the show, man. First and foremost, we always got to shout my guys out, man, for always tuning in with me, jumping on every week. Breeze, how you feeling today, man?
What's the word, bro? I'm chilling, man. What's the word? Let's get to it.
All right.
Mm.
Next thing we got my boy Mike. Mike, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. What's the word, man? Let's get to it.
All right, so let's jump right into some basketball, man. I want to talk about Case Cunningham injury, the collapsed lung. It's been purported that the timeline for him he will be sidelined for 2 weeks. So that'll be pretty much to the end of the regular season. He'll come back postseason. He should be fine. But it's ironic because me and Breeze talked about this yesterday. Is there any concerns we may have of his injury that they first announced with the back spasms, and now this came out? So I'm gonna start with you, Breeze. I know we spoke about this yesterday, man. So what are your concern levels for the Pistons in terms of K's injury?
Uh, well, mainly with his injury, with it being a collapsed lung, it changes everything now because now you're looking at him sitting out and him sitting out those 2 weeks. How is it going to be with him getting his wind back? Because if it was just back spasms, you get me. I'm pretty sure it won't be that much. It won't be that much of a fall off conditioning wise. But you know how it goes with the lungs and everything. The lungs are important, especially to a pro athlete. You get me. So what's it going to be like when he gets back? Is there going to be any labor breathing? Is there going to be any long term effect? Like, I've never had a lung injury like that, but I've known people that had lung injuries, and one of the problems that they did have is labor breathing. Conditioning won't fall off after 2 weeks, but like just like labor breathing in general, especially for somebody who plays heavy minutes in the NBA at a competitive level, a highly competitive level. So that's really my main concern about it, man. If they say 2 weeks is all it takes for it to get better, but what's the long term effects of it afterwards? Like, how long is it going to be with the labor breathing, with the discomfort? He's a driver. He drives to the basket. Is a little bump going to cause a little pain, a little discomfort? Like, what's the steps moving forward? If they believe 2 weeks is all it takes for it to recover, how severe is the damage and what's the long term effects is my concern. Because, like we said, man, everything starts and stops with Cade Cunningham in Detroit. So it'll be interesting, something to monitor. But I'm not gonna lie, it does really hinder them because the Pistons, they play that physical brand of basketball. They like to bump and push and be physical and everything. So is that gonna keep Cade Cunningham from playing that style of basketball? Like, bro, it's very interesting. It's something I have to keep an eye on. But for the most part, I'm just hoping he's all right, man, because the Pistons need him, bro. He's the end all be all with Detroit right now.
Okay. And what you got, Mike? What's your thoughts on the news about the injury and what it can mean?
It was weird because it's like one, I was kind of curious to how it happened, like what caused it, because I mean you heard the collapsed lungs and just before in general, but it's always like what could cause it to happen to you? Like, are you doing too much? You overexerting yourself? Like, what's going on? But I don't know. But hopefully 2 weeks don't sound like enough time, to be honest. Like, if your lung really collapsed, it don't sound like 2 weeks is enough time for you to, one, give it time to recover, and two, ramp back up to turn around and play playoff basketball. It just don't seem like the timing of it honestly is good. So hopefully he'll be all right. Obviously, I never want nothing to happen to nobody, but I don't know. They already was pretty much catered bust. So like without him playing, only 2 weeks left. I don't know how many games ahead they are in the position they're in, but they might have a significant drop, and that could change the trajectory of their season. So
Okay.
carry timing, of course, but just hope he all right at the end of the day.
Okay. Yeah, so I agree with both of y'all, man. It's pivotal. These are the next couple games are pivotal. They're not playing world beaters by any means, but at the end of the day, you never know when you go into a game with Tobias Harris as probably your best scoring option at this point is a good sign for you. So they have to be mindful. They have to be cautious as well because I think they're only 3.5 games ahead of the Celtics at this point. So they have to be mindful about what games they do actually tank and lose because you lose more than 5 games. I think you can kiss the conference goodbye. I don't think you no longer will be the 1 seed. I think you'll be hell. You might not be the 2 seed depending on how things shake up with New York and the Cleveland. So we'll see. But in all honesty, man, I don't think the injury is as severe as it may sound because if it was, I think there wouldn't have been a timetable put out as quickly as it was. I think him getting the return date he has gotten shows me that at the very least this isn't an injury that is going to be something that will linger into the postseason. I think he'll be good come postseason. Now only time can tell. We'll see. But the way that reports came out so quickly, about this, I think that's a good sign. And I think it's a sign that the Pistons as well believe they could win the East without Cade Cunningham because from what I read, they were saying that he could, potentially play through his injury, but they want to take the cautious approach. So those are good things in its own right. Take it with a grain of salt, however you may want to take it. But I think those are positive signs if I'm a Pistons fan. But nonetheless, bro, it's going to be interesting because this injury can shake up the entire standing of the Eastern Conference now. But before we move on to the next topic, though, y'all got anything else y'all want to add?
You think maybe this is not as bad as they saying it is, and he might just need a break? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think he
I
might
mean,
just be worn?
I
Think he
think
might
that's
just be
what
worn the
they
fuck
do.
down for real? He might just need a minute.
I think that's what the Mavs do with Anthony Edwards too. I think I think they're just trying to arrest their guys to get their legs back under them because Cade Cunningham up to this point, I think he's only missed, I think maybe 3 games if I'm not mistaken.
Bro,
So
we did bring that up yesterday. It could be just smoke and mirrors, but remember yesterday it was back spasms, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So if it's a culmination of both, then I'm definitely concerned because a back and a lung for a high contact player like him, like bro, I'm definitely concerned, bro. Like
Nah, shit.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll see, man. We're gonna see when postseason comes. But I want to speak on Giannis, man. And Giannis was actually shut down for the remainder of this season. He will no longer play. So I think Giannis has played his last days in Milwaukee. So my question for y'all is, man, like all bias aside, no bullshit, just what do we believe is the most realistic destination for Giannis Antetokounmpo?
you want to go first, Mike?
Yeah, I say he got a couple options. New York is an option. Minnesota's an option. And then, honestly, it sounds crazy, but the Lakers just because Bron will be off the books. And then they obviously we done seen them pull off some bullshit, bro. So it wouldn't shock me at all if these niggas somehow pull some shit out their ass and ended up with Bron gone, Austin Reeves as the number one option in Milwaukee with some other shit, and they somehow pull some bullshit off and end up with this nigga and Luka on the same team. Or I would say maybe they always had Golden State was always brought up. I just don't think they have anything to offer. Like they really ain't got even their young players. Like they don't have a young player that I would want to build anything around. So I think it's gonna come down to who got the most picks. realistically speaking, OKC got all the picks and some more shit, but I don't think they'd ever trade it for him because they'd have to come up off probably Chet and J Dub for real, for real. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm Milwaukee, I'm asking for it. So we'll see. But those are teams that came to mind for me.
All right, Briz, what you got?
I'm not gonna lie, that's the only team that come to mind is LA because it seemed like everything is just so scripted and lined up to that. In all honesty, like LeBron, for what it's worth, I think maybe he's 1-2 years and he's gone. Austin Reeves, remember, was demanding a max contract. Not demanding, but the market was dictating him a max contract player. And honestly, he's not a max contract player. He's not. And if, in all honesty, you can parlay him into adding Giannis to your team to pair with Luka and LeBron on his last leg, I think you have a way better chance at winning versus having a LeBron, AR, and Luka trio. Because for what it's worth, we know 70% of Giannis is a top 5 power forward in the league. We know this for a fact. So him resting, I think the Bucks are playing it smart because you sit him and you maximize his trade value right now just by sitting him. Because if he goes out there and let's say he re-aggravates something or he doesn't look good anymore, Giannis is Giannis, but he's going to be damaged goods at this point. Now you sit him out, he's going to rehab, he's going to do whatever it takes to get better, and you can get the maximum trade package for him. So I definitely think LA. I know they got DeAndre Ayton on the expiring deal. He's probably gone once the season's over. All signs are pointing, bro, in Austin Reeves package to ship to Milwaukee and bring in Giannis, bro. And that really makes the most sense. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know. If I was OKC, I would trade Chet. I'm not gonna lie, I would.
Hell yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat, bro. I'm not even second guessing. You can have whatever picks you want and Chet.
They ain't gonna just want picks with him though. He's not he's not an all-star caliber player. So like, you know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna like.
I'm saying they can take whatever picks they want.
You'd be better off offering J Dub with all the picks because we've seen him. You know what I'm saying?
That's ugly. But I don't want.
That's why I said they probably would ask for both. They would probably ask for both of them plus 2 or 3 first-round picks. They might not agree to it, but they would at least ask. I would ask 100%.
I'll do that, bro. I'll ship Giannis out, and I'll ship Chet out, and I'll just ask for a boatload of picks, bro. Because I'm obviously rebuilding at this point. So yeah, man, it's either OKC or LA, bro. But New York, I don't see it happening because Jalen Brunson is coming up for his extension. Remember, he took that pay cut. He took a pay cut.
Yeah, but he signed it. It was a 4-year deal. He just signed it last year.
Was it last year?
He took a pay cut so they could get and keep Mikal Bridges and OG and some other motherfuckers. They was gonna have to end up losing.
It was an article I saw. I think it was, I don't know if it's next year or something, but he's gonna be eligible for like almost $80 million a year.
He ain't gonna take that. He took the pay cut in the first place because he wanted to play with his college homies, which is how they ended up with Mikal Bridges and all the Villanova niggas in the first place.
I gotta see. I gotta find the article and then I'll send it.
They traded 4 first round. They could have got Giannis now had they not traded them 4 first round picks from Mikal Bridges then. Had they just waited 1 more year, they would have been able to get Giannis now with all them picks with no problem, without giving them no other assets.
So I'm thinking LA and OKC for sure, bro. Because
I don't think Bron stay if they get Giannis. So Bron gonna be off the books, and then DeAndre Ayton got a 2-year deal, but he was only making $5 million a year. It was like 2 years, $10 million. So his money really ain't shit. They might send his ass too just because. Send that nigga Austin Reeves and Rui and as many picks as they can find for that nigga Giannis. Watch the bullshit. I'm telling you, bro. I just got a feeling, bro.
It's the Lakers, bro. The fleece.
That's what I'm saying. It's the fleece market, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I can see all that happening, but for me, I think the most likely situation is him going to OKC, man. I'm not gonna lie. Is it OKC or New York for me? I think New York. They may not have the draft compensation, but I do think they have pieces that they can make their way into a 3-way team trade where they can get picks for other players, and those picks can end up in Milwaukee's lap, and somehow they get Giannis. And I believe Karl Anthony Towns, out of all the players we just discussed right now, I think he'll, in terms of a plug and play player right now, who will be their best bet. He'll be the best option in terms of a player. Man, you could probably argue Austin Reeves at this point too, because of how he's played this season. But as a consistent offensive threat, who's someone who has shown us he could be a 2012, 24, 11 guy, that's what Cat has been. So I think they could get a bit more on bang on that buck in the returns for Cat. I think you also could throw in another guy who, like I just said yesterday, Jordan Clarkson, a guy who isn't getting many minutes, and he can still. I think he can still play. He's just not getting the burn. So you can throw in some guys who may not have a rotation in your team situation right now, but he could go somewhere else and probably be a contributor in some way. So I think New York has the depth in terms of personnel and players that can be moved. And I think they could turn those players and personnel into draft picks. And that's why I think that's, for me, is the most likely situation, especially if New York doesn't, at the very least, get out the East this season. If they don't get out the East this season, I think they go and do all they can to get Giannis. But the other team, like I said, well, OKC just has so much talent to give, bro, whether it's draft conversation, whether it's players. You could package something up. You get you a J-Dub, throw in Chet Holmgren if they want to. Yeah, you even got to throw in Chet or J-Dub. You can put together one of the other Jalen Williams. You can put together Lou Dort, who many believe is one of the better perimeter players in the league, and you can throw in 3-4 picks. I mean, it'll be hard for the Bucks to say no to that because they're, like Breezer said, they're pretty much in a rebuild. Like, your star player is asking to leave. So once that happens, you got to build from the ground up now because you no longer have an identity. So I can see that happening. I can see them going that route. But it's gonna be a long off season for Giannis, I think, man. I don't think the Bucks will make any move until they get the absolute best offer that they can possibly get. I think that's what it's gonna come down to. And I think no matter how much howling and complaining his reps may do or he himself may do, they're gonna have to wait till maybe mid off season when all this is said and done, in my personal opinion.
For
But
sure.
When's the draft?
NBA draft?
Yeah.
I think in June. I
June.
think.
It's usually in June because they do the raffle. They do the raffle in May.
Yeah. So he'll probably get traded end of May around that time. Before, or to be in the talks before the draft starts. Because if I'm trying to get picks for him, I'm trying to build with this class that's coming in right now. I need something right now.
Yeah,
One of these.
this is a deep class, bro.
So yeah, I need them picks. I need that to go through like yesterday.
And the thing is, this draft class is coming up, man. It's so many like prototypical like builds in terms of like just what you want in the player today, like stretch bigs, two-way demons, three and D.
Hella wing players.
It's so many of the archetypes that you want to build on.
Bars cold too.
Is
Shit.
I'm not sold. The thing is, bro, I'm not sold on the Milwaukee Bucks situation though, bro. Like it's like I think certain coaches luck up on certain players at certain times, and I just think that's what happened with the Bucks. Like this isn't a team that has a winning culture, in my opinion, bro. This is a team that caught lightning in a bottle and got lucky, in my personal opinion. I don't know if y'all agree with that or not, but that's
Sometimes that's all you need, bro.
Hard not to agree. Thank you.
Sometimes that's all you need, brother.
Sometimes that's what you need, and of course you'll take the championship for sure. But I just think when you have a generational player, arguably a generational player in Giannis,
bro, it's no arguably, bro. He's
Greek freak for sure.
Yeah, bro. They don't call just average players Greek gods. Like
no, but regardless, right? And I think Giannis is gonna end up being one of the best players that ever played this game. I think he could be a top 15 player all the time. But for me, bro, what shows me that a franchise simply just fails is the fact that you have this talent and he refuses to play there anymore after he loved the city. He loved Milwaukee. He wanted to be there. He wanted to stay a Buck. He wanted to compete for championships year in and year out, build, bring in guys, whatever. And the franchise has literally just fallen on his face, bro. Whether we talk about Mike Budenholzer or we talking about them, and Giannis has some part to play in that too, because he ran the coach out of town before they brought in Doc Rivers, who he wanted to hire. So he has some part to play in that. You know, he wanted Damian Lillard there. They went and got him.
Health and nutrition.
So at the end of the day, bro, franchises, in my personal opinion, when you have certain franchises that don't really know how to sustain greatness, they tend to lose it when they do have it. And that's what's happening with the Bucks. It's unfortunate, but that's what's happening. But I want to speak on Russell Westbrook if y'all ain't have anything else to add.
No, bro.
So I'm not sure if y'all are aware or not, but Russell Westbrook the other night did surpass Steve Nash top 5 in all-time assist leaders. So he's now a top 5 assist leader in the NBA history. And my question for y'all is just this, man. Like, when it's all said and done, bro, what are we saying about the Brody, bro? Like, in terms of all-time ranking amongst point guards, where is he?
To me, and I'm gonna start off by, I'm gonna put it like this. To me, a point guard is the point guard. Like, bro, you're the floor general. You have to be the sharpest mind on the court. You have to be the best facilitator. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of things that make Russell Westbrook great don't really attribute to being a great point guard or matter to being a great point guard. Like, bro, the rebounding is cool. Like, it's great, but that doesn't make you a great point guard. He has the numbers from the assists, but the turnovers with it, like honestly, bro, he reminds me so much of Brett Favre. Like, Brett Favre, if it wasn't for him, like, you know, just his just wild play style and just the reckless nature and the so many picks and so much, Brett Favre will be in the GOAT conversation, bro. He would, because what really couldn't Brett Favre do? Brett Favre can throw it, he can spin it, he can put it accurately, but he's gonna turn the ball over. He's gonna win you games, but he's gonna lose you games. Russell Westbrook, but his legacy is just is confusing because he plays the point. All right, so if Russell Westbrook wasn't a point guard, bro, if he was a shooting guard, even with all the turnovers, bro, we can say he'll be right behind Kobe probably or something. But being a point guard, bro, you're going up against John Stockton, you're going against Magic Johnson, and the guys who aren't even, like, you know, prototypically like them as far as play style, like Steph Curry. Steph Curry just dominated the game so much that him not being a floor general or a pass first point guard, he's still in that conversation because of his greatness, like his transcendental play of basketball. Like it exceeded basketball. And with Russell Westbrook, bro, it's just so is interesting, bro. Like, I really do think he's a great all-around player. He deserves to be Hall of Fame. But, bro, when we talking all-time point guards, bro, I would definitely say he's in the top 10. But off the top of my head, bro, I can't put him over Magic. I can't put him over Steph. I can't put him over Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Isaiah Thomas. I can't put him over Stockton. I can't put him over Jason Kidd. I can't put him over Steve Nash. And this just off the top of my head, bro. Oscar Robertson. Like, bro, it's tough, bro. But he's definitely top 10 for sure, bro. But like I said, the rebounding it's phenomenal. It's amazing. But I don't think being a great rebounding point guard makes you the best center. Makes you the best point guard or put you in the class of greatest point guards. It put you in a class of greatest players, but bro, like that group of like point guards, bro, it's very tricky, bro. But top 10 for sure. I give him that top 10 for sure, man.
Okay, what you got, Mike?
It's like I kind of agree with a lot of what Bree said, but I also feel like he get kind of shit on a lot when we have these conversations, and I feel like a lot of the shit that he did gets kind of overlooked and discarded because of like his personality and his kind of demeanor. And he one of them people like you either fuck with him or you love him or you can't stand his ass. Like it's one or the other. There's no in between with him. But you can never say he cheated you. 100% effort. He on 100% all the time. I think that kind of hurt him with the turnovers though, because he got one gear and that's just fast as hell. Like he going downhill, 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 no matter what. If he having a bad shooting night, he gonna keep shooting that shit. Like so, it's just like he's not efficient at all. But considering what he was when he got in the league and where he's at now, as far as all the achievements he's accomplished, he's surpassed what anybody could have thought his career would turn out to be. So you got to put him in the top 10 all time statistically for sure. And then obviously with the MVP to his name, you got to give him that too. The All NBAs, the All Star appearances, or whatever the case is. He's top 10. I would put him in the top five. I would have him for me personally probably in my 7 to 10 range. But that's probably where I would have to put him. I got to put him in the 10 for sure, just because everything he's done, but definitely wouldn't be top five for me. So probably like 7 to 10.
Okay. Uh, I agree with y'all for the most part. The only thing I want to push back on what Breeze says is this, and for one, I think he's better than Steve Nash. I personally think he's better than Steve Nash. That's neither here nor there. I think it's a matter of opinion at that point because I think they're the same tier point guard in terms of all time legacies. So I'm not. That's not what I want to push back on. I want to push back on the fact that we said, him being a great rebounding point guard doesn't necessarily move you in terms of his conversations or where he's leading up to or what he could be. And I said this about Jokic being a great passing big man. And I was told, I'm not saying you told me this, Breeze, but I'm saying I was told amongst multiple fans that, well, him being a great passer at the five is one of his separators. And one of the reasons why you can take him over these guys or argue you can take him over these guys like a Kareem, or not Kareem, excuse me, Hakeem, Moses Malone, David Robinson, whoever. And my thing is, if we're saying Jokic, right, is creating this separator that a center does not necessarily need in order to be a great center. It's not a real contributor to being a great center. If we're saying that, how can we not say Russell Westbrook being a great rebounder at his position isn't also a contributing factor? Because that's what Oscar Robertson made his bread and butter on too as a player. Like he was an overall great player, rebound well, defended decently, passed really well, good playmaker. So I just want to know what are your thoughts on that? Because if that's what the thought process is with Russ for you, is that the same thought process that you have for Jokic? Are you not really moved by his passing ability?
Um. Okay, so I get what you're saying. But it's like I think I look at Jokic like a unicorn, bro. Like of course, bro. Resume speaks for itself. Jokic is top five center of all time, bro. No matter how you want to rank it, if you want to Shaq, Kareem, Bill Russell, whatever, he's up there. Um, but I don't look at him in the same context as the way I look at a Shaq or a Kareem or a Hakeem or a Bill Russell or a Wilt, because like it's all completely different. Like I would look at a Wembanyama the same way. Like I would look at all these bigs in a different manner. The passing for Jokic, the playmaking for him, like it definitely puts him in a different tier, bro. And I'm not saying that it takes away from his greatness, but he's not a slouch at the other aspects of being a great center as well. You get me? Like he scores in the paint very well. He rebounds very well. Now, defense, you can harp on the defense, but the scoring and the rebounding and the paint, I think it's all there for Jokic. But I don't know, man. I just think when people try to use that as a metric to say like he's over these people that exceed in the main criteria of being a great, point guard or being a great center, bro, I think that's the needle mover for me. Cause it's like, okay, if Jokic was a slouch at rebounding, but you want to say, okay, well, his playmaking makes him better than a Shaq or a Kareem or whatever, then we will have a problem. But he rebounds just as well as them. Like I think he averaged like 12 or 13 for a career. And I think they're putting up the same type of numbers. So you can't use that as like a needle. Like you can say, okay, this is what makes him different, or this is what you get me. But just to say that him rebounding makes him a better point guard, when we talk about point guards, it's like facilitators, floor generals, so on and so forth. And the greatest point guard when it comes to that facilitating and being a floor general and doing it efficiently is one John Stockton, who I think his career assist to turnover ratio, I think, is 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. And he played damn near as long as LeBron did. So I don't know, bro. I think it's very interesting. It's something you do have to look at, bro. Like I said, it's no knock on him being a great rebounder, bro. But I just can't take that into consideration of being an all-time floor general, bro. Now, if you want to say being just a guard, maybe a 1-2 or a combo guard, then cool. But being a point guard, like a floor general, bro, rebounding is not really shocking to me, bro. Like it's not really like, oh my god, this is the end all be all, bro. Like, so no, I'm not really moved by it, bro. And with the Jokic situation, he does everything as well as the other all time centers did, bro. Maybe not athletically, but he still puts up the same numbers and has the accolades, bro. So I don't know, but that's a good question, bro. You kind of fucked my head up with that one. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay. You got something you want to add, Mike?
I would just say we kind of like that's why I say Russ kind of get a raw deal. I feel like we treat Russ kind of how niggas treat Bron as far as like when he do some shit at this point, and it's like, oh, it's a longevity thing. Like he made the triple double thing was impossible, and he did the shit 3-4 years in a row. Then it was just like, oh, we don't care, and then we didn't care for the longest. Again, we stopped giving a fuck, and then Jokic come along and do it. Now niggas back caring about triple double. Like it just seemed like it just depended on who do the shit,
But and
whether we
that
praise him or not.
and that's what I was getting at, because it's like I'm not saying this was Breeze, dude, but I'm saying, like, for me at least, we all know the point guard position has changed. It's not what it once was. It's not just a facilitator, guy who can get people involved and open up the offense. Yes, that's still a criteria, but we've seen that has slowly been transitioned to something better. That the position has evolved drastically. The point guards in today's league are score first players, majority of them. They are. And they just so happen to be damn good playmakers too. And that's the era Russell Westbrook kind of came into, where these guards, excuse me, where these point guards were the team's best player, not because they were just facilitators, playmakers, and they were able to create these looks for other guys, but because they could create their own shots and get to the rim. Like, we seen that evolve with John Wall, with Kyrie, Russell Westbrook himself, Kemba, and to a certain extent. Like, we started seeing that transcended in the position. So I get it. If we're talking from a grand scheme, and like we're just looking at it from the broad perspective of what we're used to seeing a traditional point guard being, okay, I get it. But the game has evolved, bro. And I just think we gotta factor in the evolution of the game. And I think when you talk about a point guard that can do all what Russell Westbrook could do, I think that matters, because at the end of the day, how are you affecting the basketball game, and are you winning games with the style of play? I get Russ isn't a champion. I get he didn't have that much playoff success, but Russell Westbrook has been in the NBA Finals. A lot of players, a lot of all-time greats can't say that. Russell Westbrook is an MVP. A lot of all-time greats can't say that. Russell Westbrook, as well as him winning a scoring title, he's also led the league in assists multiple times. in both categories. Again, a lot of all-time greats cannot say that. And I'm not saying this to say he should be in anyone's top 5, because I agree with y'all. He's top 10 at the end of the day. But I just look at it from the perspective of, if he's doing these things on the court and they're impacting the team in a positive way, because like how we brought up the triple, like how Mike brought up the triple-double situation, when you look at him get triple-doubles, bro, when he gets a triple-double, his team wins over 70% of their games. So it's not that it's losing basketball. It's the opposite, actually. Like, he's helping his team in the best way he can by being an all-around impactful player that he has been for the last, during that time, that was like a 4 or 5 year stretch. So I personally think history would be kinder to Russ once it's all said and done. But I do think his biggest downfall was his volatile play style, because he was a guy that was boom or bust a lot of nights. And his inefficiency is definitely his biggest knock. And that's the reason why I can't argue him in the top 5, because at the end of the day, bro, you gotta be able to keep the ball out of harm's hands as a point guard. And he was 50-50 on any given night. So I can't be mad at that, at that assessment. But for sure, I think Russ is a top 10 point guard all time. I don't think at this point. I think he's earned that at this point. But anything else I want to add before we move on?
I agree with you, brother.
All right. So let's get into some football, man. I want to start getting into some prospects, some NFL draft prospects. We're going to discuss quarterback this week, fellas. Let's get into it, man. So listen, we all know the first quarterback on everybody's draft board for us, man. We all know that's Mendoza, correct? Fernando Mendoza. We all got Mendoza 1.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to start with you, Mike. What are your pros and cons to Mendoza? And tell me, if you have one, do you have an NFL comp for him?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. He it's gonna sound disrespectful, but it's not meant to be. Like, to me, he like a better version of like what Mark Sanchez was coming out of USC to me.
Okay.
And I think I don't really have any super cons for him. I think he's a very intelligent player. They've spoken about that a lot, how he studies film. He's the first in, the last out. And I think for your franchise quarterback, you want that to translate. I think my only, semi-con would be that he really only had one major year starting. But on the flip side of that, in that 1 year, he won a national championship and didn't lose a game. So, I got to put respect on that as well. So, I just feel like the Raiders they're so bad, bro. So it's kind of like
they having a good. We gotta give Raiders credit, man. They having a good offseason, man.
No, and we all know Tom got a lot to do with that, bro. But it's just like they've had a lot of great off seasons, and then when the season starts, the talent they put together either don't match or they don't got the right coach in place or something happened. The Raiders gonna Raider for sure. So it's just like, for his sake, I hope that they continue to manage him properly, and that I think him being right up under Tom like that'll help him out a lot. But I think he'll be fine, bro. Like, I think he'll flourish. I think he'll eventually make a Pro Bowl or two, maybe an All-Pro, depending on the weapons they put around him, if they can shore up the offensive line or whatever. So I think he'll be fine. He's mature. He's an adult, literally. Like, he's not there ain't nothing wrong with like being goofy and having a good time. Like, I love players like that too. But for him, at that position, you kind of want your guy to be more reserved. And I think he loves the game. He plays like it. He makes big time throws, clutch situations. He showed some mobility during that playoff run that people probably didn't think he had. So he's got that. He's got some escapability. He can extend some plays. So I think bro will be fine.
Okay. What you got, Breeze?
I think the pros, they speak for itself. The character, leadership. I think the cons of him, I think the arm talent is very limited. Everyone doesn't have like crazy arm talented, but I don't see like, from the great quarterbacks we see in the NFL today, I don't see that type of arm in him. And to be fair, the guy who's going to be overseeing him, Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't have the most, diverse arm, but Tom Brady made it work and became the GOAT. So, another thing, I do think he heavily relied on the RPO with Indiana. And I think a lot of defensive coordinators that play against him are going to lock in on that. So I do want to see, if he's really just a one-trick pony or just like a system merchant, or is he able to, shake off cobwebs and actually lock in and go against a different game plan. But to me, this isn't a very strong quarterback class. I do see Mendoza as more of like a game manager. I do think at his best, I think he can be a Matt Ryan kind of quarterback. Honestly, I see that, and I see him like just a solid guy who won't lose you games, but with the right system around him, he'll flourish. He'll be really really good. So
Hey, man, Ryan was the
yeah,
MVP quarterback. Man.
Well, I said like bro, like Matt, and for the most part, Matt Ryan wouldn't lose you games. Matt Ryan would. You saw what he was with a damn good system around him. He was an MVP, and they choked the 28-3 lead. But for what it's worth, he. So yeah, I think my pro confident will be a Matt Ryan, bro, at his best, and that's no disrespect either, because Matt Ryan is an MVP, bro.
Yeah, man, Ryan was the only quarterback in NFL history to throw 4K yards. I think 8 straight seasons, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, for me, man, my pros for him, I think. For one, I know the arm strength isn't there fully. I agree with you, Breeze, but I think his touch on his passes is phenomenal. I think he throws a damn tight spiral. I think his touch on the ball placement is really, really good. And I just think his pocket awareness and pocket presence itself is, to me, extremely good, especially for a young quarterback. So those are two things that really catch my eye when I watch him play. Cons for me, I personally think when he gets out of structure is not that great. I think he's athletic enough to fix that and make that something that could potentially become another strength of his. But right now, you can take gets a little razzled when things do kind of fall out of place. And for me, that's telling because in this day and age, you need playmakers at the quarterback position. You just do. Like when you look at the top guys around the league, they're all playmakers. None of them are really traditional drop back passes outside of Matt Stafford. Like that's literally it. Everyone else extend plays for another second, 2, 3, run out the pocket, get you 8, 10, 12 yards, pick up a first down. That's something I think he has the potential to do, and he showcased it a bit. So I expect him to start to kind of transition to that. And as far as a pro comp go, man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I mean, when I watch him and I'm just on the field, his game, his style, the way he plays. I mean, for me personally, he looked like a lesser version of Joe Burrow to me. Like, I'm not saying he's what Joe Burrow is coming out of college, because Joe Burrow is arguably the best prospect we've had in the last 10, 15 years. So I'm not saying that. But in terms
Prospect,
of just play style, huh?
prospect is crazy, bro.
I mean, if you, it depends on how you felt about Trevor
I mean,
Lawrence.
yeah,
That's not,
he had the greatest. Joe Burrow definitely had the greatest season, but I think prospect
no,
Trevor
no. That's what
Lawrence
I'm
was
saying
there.
as a prospect, like in terms.
I get you, bro.
Cause I mean, I personally wasn't high on Trevor Lawrence personally,
Definitely never bought into that hype ground,
but
dude.
I think he has the same tools that Joe Burrow had coming out of college. I don't think he has the strongest arm, but I think he throws a damn good deep ball, just like Joe Burrow did. I think he get out of the pocket and create. The only difference between him and Joe Burrow for me is I think Joe Burrow was a little bit more ahead of the curve because he was able to create outside the pocket a little more often than not. And Mendoza, like I said, to me, that's something he has to work on. So that would be my comparison for him. But anything else you want to add before we move to the next guy?
Mm-mm.
All right, man. So next guy I want to bring up Ty Simpson, quarterback from Alabama, as we all know. Breeze, I'm gonna start with you, bro. What you got? What are your thoughts on Ty Simpson?
Uh, Ty Simpson, he's another wild card for me because I've seen some good, I've seen some bad. I've seen him I've seen him become unraveled in big moments. I've seen him struggle to get a great receiver the ball in Ryan Williams. But I do think whatever team takes him, I don't really see a high ceiling for him. I do think when you get him, you're getting him just as what he is. I don't see a player that's going to take a lot of developing to reach whatever you want him to be. I think, if you get him, I think you're going to get a serviceable guy that at his best that he's a starter. He can, linger around in Pro Bowl talks. I don't think he's ever going to be like an all pro or anything like that, but I do think he'll be pretty good, pretty serviceable in the NFL. And depending on where he goes, I do see I see a little bit of a Brock Purdy in him when I look at him, bro. I do see a Brock Purdy.
Okay, that's a good comp, man. Gonna lie. What you got, Mike?
He a bit of a loose cannon for me, bro. I don't really know.
Because he gonna ball against some shitty teams.
I mean, he's really up and down, bro. A throw for 300-400 and then throw for 125 the next time. So the shit be kind of like, just put it right there. And then a throw for 125 the next game. Beat Georgia and then turn around and get smoked. It's just weird, bro. I think he needs to sit for a year. And I also kind of blame the team around him too, because bro was getting his ass kicked. I ain't gonna lie. Offensive line wasn't doing bro no favors. They was getting his head bashed in. So maybe bro was a little punch drunk. I'll give him some grace on that. But depending on where he go, he could be solid. If he go to a team like the Rams and sit behind Stafford for the next year or two and then take over, he'll be straight. Or I don't know. Sometimes people need to be backups first and then they go elsewhere and they ball out because they've been in the system, they've been around structure, they've been around, a mature team and they know how to conduct themselves. I don't think from him as a person that he has any issues. I haven't heard anything about any of that. So I think he's fine in that department. But bro definitely gonna either need a ton of weapons around him off the rip, or you have to sit him and let him learn and kind of absorb first. But he's my third quarterback. To me personally, he would be my third quarterback taking, not the second.
Okay. You got any comp to him? You think he play like anybody that you've seen?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's probably gonna sound wild as hell. Probably like a more athletic Case Keenum career.
Okay.
Dead. Shut up, bro. I knew he was gonna win. I'm dead. Chill out, bro.
Okay. Hey, listen, man.
That shit, bro.
That's what you see, my boy. That's what you see.
I knew Breeze was gonna laugh because he asked.
Wait, who you said, Mike? Hey, Mike, who you said?
Chill out, gang.
Man, Case Keenum, boy.
More athletic Case Keenum, or Kirk Cousins type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Boys, last word production. We got Will Mike Jones.
Hey, boy, go to hell, boy.
Hey, man. Look, for me,
We did it.
Hey, listen, man. For me, man, I think Ty Simpson does a lot of things good. He does the thing I think he does really good. I think his pocket awareness. I think he could orchestrate that thing like a maestro. I ain't gonna lie, man. Because some of the pressure he was dealing with in Alabama, some of his capabilities showed me really impressed me. Even though he's not the most athletic guy, his pocket awareness and his pocket manipulation was impressive to me. He has a decent arm. He has decent accuracy. But like how Mike and you said, Breeze, he does tend to get away from himself. And I think that has something to do with the situation because Alabama, before we remember, they've always been a juggernaut. They've always been the big bullies on the block. But the last couple of years, that ain't really been the case. So we're seeing a new Bama program, and they're kind of learning things on the fly because they're not used to competing in almost all of these games, bro. Like they're not used to it. So it seemed to be them learning on the fly as well when you watch them. But cons for me is just, I mean, I don't think his processing speed is that good. I don't think he understands defenses at a high level enough to know exactly what he's getting in coverage or what look he's going against. And I just think like his footwork, in my personal opinion, needs to be better as well. But I think that's something he can expand upon because he was at one of the better schools in the nation, regardless, and that's something they hone in on when it comes to skill set and your fundamentals and technique. So I think that's something he can expand on. But in terms of what I see when I see him play, man, I like the comp that you have for Brock Purdy Breeze. I'm gonna go with another guy who I think reminds me of Brock Purdy when I watched him play. Well, I should say Brock Purdy reminded me of him when I watched Brock play is Alex Smith. I think that is another guy who I think plays the same similar ball that them two quarterbacks played. And not the most athletic guy in the world, but he can scramble and get you 6, 8 yards, maybe beat out a DN and a tackle on the sideline for a first down. Not the strongest arm, not the biggest guy, none of those things, but he goes out and he does everything good enough to where he can help you win games. As long as
Conservative quarterback.
good, he'll be good. And I think that's what Ty Simpson is. So that's who I see when I watch the dude play, man, personally. But the next player I want to speak on Drew Aller. So, Mike, the floor is yours, my boy. What you think about Drew Aller, man? What you got?
All right, so had Drew been healthy, in my opinion, he would be the number one quarterback available, not Fernando, even with what Fernando accomplished. Drew got the asset package as far as size, strength, arm strength, playmaking ability. He's mobile enough to extend plays. Like I said, rocket launcher for arm, 6'5", about 230, 220, 220 to 230 in that range. Solid. Broke his ankle, obviously, so that tanked his draft stock. And honestly, it could be a blessing in disguise. He could end up going somewhere where he gets to a really good team and ends up playing like right away. I think he can handle it. I think he showed maturity, and even going back to Penn State because he could have came out last year, and he probably would have had a better chance as far as draft stock. So he took a chance, went back, and wanted to be there. He wanted to be in school. He wanted to, run with his guys. Unfortunately, the injury happened, but luckily it happened early enough in the season that he's healthy now. You know what I'm saying? He back running around. He was able to go to the combine, perform, and show everybody I'm healthy. I can do it. I'm good. So I think Drew. I think Drew is will be the prospect we look back on in the draft and be like, damn, how do we, people always go back, well, how did we miss this guy, blah, blah. And honestly, I don't think anybody intentionally missed him. I think it was just the injury, to be honest. And so it forced you to look at other guys. Other people kind of came to the forefront. So I think college football this season overall was underwhelming in the quarterback position. And so, especially when you had a guy like Dante Moore go back to school instead of staying out in the draft, like college football overall, quarterback wise, underwhelming this year. So he's in a good position to be taken second or third. Team like if I was the Cardinals, if I was uh, more like honestly, if I was the Jaguars too, like I know you just paid Trevor, but he's not getting any better. And so another year, Trevor, maybe you trade him after that, or you another 2 years you let Drew sit, learn, and he can come in and play. Uh, a team like the Vikings for real. Like you got Kyler for a year, let him go sit behind Kyler. You take Drew in the second or third round, and when you ain't reaching, he ready to take over. Like it's a lot of teams. He played in cold weather, he's played in inclement weather, he played outdoor in Pennsylvania. He can play in the snow, he can play in the dome, he can play anywhere. And I think his game will translate really well to the next level.
Okay, what you got, Breeze?
I really agree with Mike. I think Drew fits the prototype bill for what the quarterback is going to nowadays. I think he's like 6'5", like 235, 240.
Yeah.
Strong arm. But the mechanics for me need some work. And as well as the mental processing. Like I see a lot of mental lapses with him from time to time. I did see him, overthrow and underthrow a lot, which, that comes with the territory. But I've seen those things from him a lot. The mobility is there, bro. He's a special talent. Like the raw ability, everything is there. But I do think he needs to work on those fundamentals, bro. Like I said, the processing, like you can work with that. Like you can, get help breaking down film to, get a better understanding on defenses. Because we seen people like Pat Mahomes go out and be the greatest thing we ever saw, and he said he didn't understand what the hell was going on out there. But it's just certain things that he needs to work on, bro. And the accuracy is one of them, because the arm strength is there. And I don't know if we all noticed it, but quarterbacks that typically have the biggest arms, sometimes they're not the most accurate. But if he wants to be, that standout quarterback that he can be based off his raw ability and potential, then he's gonna have to hone in on the accuracy and the mental processing. My comp for him is gonna sound crazy, but bro, he reminds me of a young Joe Flacco. Really, like he really reminds me of a young Joe Flacco. I'm talking young, early Raven days Joe Flacco, bro. When he took those reins over and he just went out there and just started going stupid, bro. I really see a lot of young Joe Flacco in him.
Okay. I agree with everything y'all said. I can't really add too much to it because I think the pros is this immensely talented, man. Like 6'5", 235, 240, strongest arm in the draft, all the tools there, athletic guy, probably a sub 4 or 5 guy. This is a guy that can really put it all together. He could be one of the most physically gifted quarterbacks in the league from day one. The problems is the technique and mechanics aren't always good, and that's something that has to be worked on. So for me, when I see him coming out, man, it's this raw talent. I mean, I know it's gonna sound cliche, but I think the comp is Josh Allen, bro. I mean, that's the same thing Josh Allen was coming out of college. Like he was a physical specimen, had some good film, had some bad film. The throwing mechanics wasn't clean, so it's something you felt like you had to work on, coach up. And if you got it right, or you get him in a situation where he's more fundamentally sound, it could be something special. And I think this could be the same thing. So for me, that's what I see him coming out. I just view him as a early on Josh Allen, bro. I really do. But the next quarterback I want to talk about is another guy who I think is a physical specimen, and that's Taylor Green, man. So I'm gonna start with you, Breeze. What are your thoughts on Taylor Green?
I really think we need to pump the fucking brakes, because this is looking like it's gonna shape up to be. I ain't even gonna bring that man up, man, but it look like it's gonna be another one of those, man.
That's the
We
comp,
need
boy. Not gonna
we
lie.
need to pump the brakes. But no, with him, I see a Colin Kaepernick, Randall Cunningham kind of guy, bro. Like I really just see like a athletic freak. The potential is there, bro, but you're living off combine hope, bro. And if you don't have the structure to, just you're taking them in as a student. He still has to learn, he still has to develop, but it's coming too far in between that we're seeing a lot of these huge freak athletic quarterbacks and people fall in love with them. Like we're seeing the Joe Milton, we seeing the Trey Lance, we seeing the Anthony Richardson, like we seeing all these freak athlete quarterbacks, bro, who kill it in the combine. But like I said, man, I don't know. I think I do, bro. Like I said, I see a Colin Kaepernick, like Randall Cunningham type of situation with him, bro. Like he's definitely a unicorn. Well, I can't say a unicorn because we seeing like a lot of these motherfuckers nowadays, but he's definitely an athletic freak, bro. Like dude look like a tight end playing quarterback, bro. Like a DN or something playing quarterback. Like he's a freak of nature, bro.
Yeah, for sure. What you got, Mike?
Brett. So he kind of remind me of like what Terrell Pryor was coming out from Ohio State, except for he ended up changing positions eventually. But just that physically gifted super athlete could probably play multiple positions at the next level and be successful. I think he can be a solid quarterback, but he absolutely has to sit. And it's partially not really his fault. Like you're not getting top receivers to go to Arkansas. So like at the same time, while we do have valid points about what he needs to do better, it's not like he was playing with like a Jeremiah Smith or a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He ain't throwing the motherfuckers like that. He throwing the niggas we don't even know. Like if an Arkansas receiver gets drafted this year, we won't know because we don't know them niggas. So I think part of it is the talent gap as well that he had to endure and get over. But I think bro be straight. I ain't gonna lie. I do appreciate the fact that he's not wanting to change positions and just let them tell him, "Oh, you gonna be this, you gonna be that." He like, nah, I'm not changing my position. I'm quarterback, and if he's willing to sit and learn and stick to them guns, then cool. Let him flourish. And then when bro, a year or two from now, somebody need him, bro, ready. He might turn that motherfucker up, bro, because ain't gonna be no film on him. He gonna catch the league by surprise either way. They gonna think he might rely on his athleticism. Really, he can make all the throws. Bro got a nice arm, very strong arm. He is also very accurate on the deep passes, even though they don't really have a bunch of weapons down there in Arkansas. So I think he'll be fine, bro. He just need a minute. But I would compare him to like Terrell Carr, in my opinion. That's what he remind me of.
Okay. For me personally, I 1,000% agree with your comp, Mike. I ain't gonna lie. That's literally who I see when I watch him play. I see Terrell Pryor. Then we're talking about a 6'5", 6'6", 240. Like this
Yeah,
is a
he's
dude. Like and he played quarterback, and it's not even just his size that is like overbearing, but he's a 4.37 guy. Like man, clock the sub 4.4. So this is a freak of nature at the quarterback position, man. And this is a guy who, like I said this before about a lot of these, just like I just said about Drew Allen 5 minutes ago. Like, bro, like you have to work in the mechanics and you have to give them the time to actually learn the game of football, bro. And I know that may sound so easier than said than done to a lot of folks, and it sound cliche, whatever the case may be. But the problem is when you have raw talents, you gotta hone it in. Like a lot of times, a lot of these guys' confidence be getting killed because they play a game or two, year or two too early, in my personal opinion. I think he needs to be in the Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes situation. You sit for a year, maybe two, and you learn. You learn the game, you learn the position, whatever that may consist of, whether it's him working on his mechanics, whether him learning coverages, reads, where the hot route sounds, certain plays and certain looks, whatever that may be for him, that's what he needs to do. So I think he could be a day two guy. I don't think a team is going to take him high. I think he could go either third, maybe he'll be a day three guy, but I think someone does take a swing at him. But we'll see. So the last guy I want to speak on, man, I want to speak on Garrett Nussmeier.
Mhm.
So, Mike, I'm gonna let you go. The floor is yours, man. LSU quarterback. Who does he remind you of? What are some pros? What are some cons?
So Nuss remind me of Ben a little bit,
Mm.
just from the way he kind of move, even the way he kind of move. He's not as mobile per se. Big Ben wasn't necessarily mobile. He was strong as fuck. So I think that injuries also kind of ruined his draft stock and LSU being completely ass. He played through an injury this year. He probably should have just sat out. But I get it. You came back. He's another quarterback because he came out last year, similar to Drew Allen. Went back, wanted to play with his guys, wanted the chance at the Natty, and then Brian Kelly happened. So we already know what that means. But I think he needed to learn. He could play right away in the for the right team. To be honest, he would be very methodical, very game managers. Uh, kind of like real shit. I take the Big Ben shit back. He like a poor man's Carson Palmer to me, bro. That's more like how he play. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, like when Carson Palmer was on, he was on. When he's off, shit was terrible. And that's kind of how Garrett Nussmeier is. He has high highs and hella low lows. So if he can find some balance and consistency, mechanics as well, similar to Drew Allen with the mechanics, shit, he gets lazy and sloppy with his footwork when he starts pressing, trying to make plays. And so I think if he can avoid that or go to a team that has weapons at his disposal that he can just kind of dink and dunk and, get a rhythm with, I think he'll be fine. But I wouldn't take him until day 3, to be honest.
Okay. What you got, Breeze?
I agree with everything Mike said. But for my comp, I see Andy Dalton, bro. Honestly, he reminds me of an Andy Dalton, bro. Like he's gonna have games where he's gonna go out there and you're gonna, yo, this man is fucking amazing, bro. Like he's gonna go out there and ball, and he's gonna get a dope nickname like how Andy Dalton got the Red Rocket and all this stuff, and then he's just gonna it's gonna be so up and down, bro. Like you're just gonna be like, wow, bro. Like this guy is so.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's another guy that's just a wild card, bro. Like when he's rolling, he's rolling. Like he has situations where he's locked in and he's looking really good and he's dealing. But then it's times when pressure get applied, bro, and he just look like, why are you out there? What are you doing? So,
right.
Like I said, I see an Andy Dalton in him, man.
Right. I love y'all comps, man. I love the comps. But for me, when I see him play, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. I see Tony Romo, bro. that's who I see, dog. I see Romo. I see the ups and downs. I see the highs. I see the lows. I see the guy that could potentially go out and have a gun out with Peyton Manning on Monday Night Football, and then I see the guy that could turn around and throw 3 interceptions the next week. Like I see Tony Romo, dog. Like the arm strength isn't special, but it's good enough. I see a guy who doesn't have the greatest pocket presence or the greatest athletic ability, but it's good enough. Everything is just good enough. And I think that's the thing with Garrett Nussmeier. It's like he doesn't do anything really good or at a high level that wows you, but he does have moments in games where it's like, this could actually work. Like he can put this together and actually make himself into something. But like I said, that's why I said Tony Romo, because that's the same thing Romo did for years with Dallas. So, I mean, yeah, that could be a Pro Bowl quarterback here and there for maybe 2-3 years, but it ain't someone I think used to be drafted day 1 or even day 2. I think he's a guy that can go 5th round. And, some might prove some people wrong, might prove me wrong, but we'll see. But I want to get into our last segment of the show, man. So listen up, y'all guys. Listen well. Listen. We got a Would You Rather. We got my boy Malik Willis on the board today, man. Hey, new Dolphin quarterback. Y'all knew I was going to do it eventually. A lot going on the line with him, you feel me? A lot of people got high hopes for him. A lot of people think he could be something really good in this league one day. We'll see. But as it stands right now, let's see who I think he's better than as it stands right now. So, first name up, man. I got the guy he replacing. I got Tua Tagovailoa.
Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik.
I ain't soon as you said Malik Willis. You ain't even got to say talk about Malik Willis.
That's
You say he heard tough.
That's crazy, man. But led the league in yards. I guess it don't matter. It's cool.
Hell no, it don't matter.
That's cool. It's cool. I get it.
It's all right. Hey, I'll say one thing though. Hey, Tua was killing the screens, boy.
Hey, what?
Mike McDaniels, that nigga could draw up some screens, boy. I ain't never seen that many type of exotic screens in my life, boy.
Hey, all right.
Very
man.
Kaleidoscope.
I got the phenom. I got Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Caleb, bro. It's not even a discussion.
Iceman?
It's not even a discussion, bro.
Yeah, Iceman with the frosty fingernail polish for sure.
This dude paint his nails and go out there and drop 300 on you, bro. Like
with game winners, bro. Yeah.
All right. Next name I got for y'all, man. I got K1 on the board. I got Kyler Murray.
It's still Kyler Murray, bro.
Is it?
It's still Kyler Murray, bro.
Yeah, I'll take Malik. Kyler don't be healthy.
It's still Kyler Murray, bro.
You don't have any evidence to support that.
I'm rolling Kyler Murray, bro.
I'm gonna go Malik on that one.
Okay.
Who you think, T? Just to be the icebreaker, who you think?
Nah, I'll take K1.
All right, smart guy.
All right. Next name I got on the board, man.
K2 smoking ass.
Got Michael Penix.
Who?
Michael.
Malik Willis, bro.
Yeah, that nigga's. He just lost his job. Nigga got
Yeah,
fired.
and I ain't gonna lie, bro.
The
Man had every injury on God's green earth.
The man's knees were worse than Kawhi's on draft night, and they still took him top 10.
Bro, I don't know.
I almost don't even blame, bro. They did that. They shouldn't have took him.
Bro, just
they had Kawhi knees.
He was a beast.
Two ACL surgeries in college alone. That's how he
was a beast at Washington, though, bro. He was
at Indiana at first, and because of the knee injuries, he got replaced there, and then took his ass to Washington. Thankfully, they balled out there. Yeah, you know, he did his thing for sure. But come on, bro. Y'all knew the man had bad knees coming into the fucking league.
I think Atlanta just got bad luck with lefty quarterbacks.
Atlanta's just stupid, bro.
With lefty quarterbacks, they got bad luck, bro.
They got bad luck with quarterbacks, period. They ain't had one. Matt Ryan, and before him, it wasn't shit before Vic either. So, except Brett Favre, who they also got rid of. So, they're just not smart.
All right. Next play I got for y'all, though, man. I got Cam Ward.
Shit not really fair to Cam, bro. Cam was bro.
I'm a roll Cam. I'm a roll Cam Ward.
I gotta go Malik only because Cam was getting baptized. It really ain't his fault, but just based on what we saw this past year, I had to go Malik.
But if I'm going in totality, the only reason I'll go Cam Ward is because I've seen Malik Willis in a Cam Ward type of situation when he was his first go around in Tennessee.
Yeah, but they didn't even give him a chance.
I'm saying, and he didn't look like much. Cam Ward, for what it's worth, bro, Cam Ward looked damn good with that shit show, bro. He looked damn good with that shit show, bro.
I hear you, man.
Yeah. Next name I got, man. I got Tyler Shuck.
Tyler, nice, bro. Yeah. But he's another guy who, in college, bro, he got tore up in college too.
Hey, what you be on, man?
Tyler, nice though, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Bullshit, bro.
For real, bro. Tyler, nice, bro.
What's nice? What's the definition of nice? Maybe I'm the problem,
bro. You can't tell me Tyler Shuck wasn't balling, bro.
I didn't say he wasn't good. I didn't say he wasn't a serviceable quarterback. Maybe it's because the team's just not good, so it's not his fault. I'll give you. You're right. I'll let that go.
But I would roll with Malik Willis, although I do believe.
So do you feel like Malik could have done what Tyler did with that offense?
I think Tyler Shuck is a more developed passer because he was in college for so long. He's so much of an older player. I think that's what the separator is. But mind you, Malik is with the big dogs. So I do think that as an overall player, Malik Willis brings more to the table. He's a better player, but Tyler Shuck, his accuracy and his ball placement, is like come on, bro. You heard the pause.
And then you stutter after the fact. That's what makes it good.
I knew that was wild, bro. I knew that was a wild statement, bro. I knew it, bro. I felt like a pause couldn't even save me from that.
Crazy word, boy.
But yeah, bro, his quarterback mechanics are top of the notch, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I'm rolling
Tyler shut the hell up or whatever the hell his name is.
I ain't gonna lie, he was ass at the combine though. I don't know what the hell he
was Cheeks Deluxe.
It's crazy.
Supreme Buns out there.
Who you taking, Mike?
I'll go Tyler Shut or whatever the fuck his name is.
Okay. Next name I got for y'all, man. I got CJ Stroud.
CJ.
I'm going Malik Willis, bro.
Yeah, you tweaking. So you'll take Tyler Shutt, but then we'll take Malik.
No, I said I'll take Malik Willis over Tyler Shutt, bro.
Yeah, Malik Willis, he did.
Hell no.
I'm taking Tyler Shutt over. I'm taking Malik Willis over CJ Stroud, bro. I'm sorry.
We gotta stop this shit, bro. I get it, bro. The playoffs is bad. We gotta cut this shit out.
Bro, the playoffs wasn't bad, bro.
Playoffs were bad. Were terrible. What do you mean they wasn't bad?
It wasn't terrible, bro.
The playoffs was shitty, bro.
It wasn't shitty.
He looked terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
He was.
It was. You can't even come up with a term. You complimented him right now.
I'm about,
The
I'm about
nerd in this
to
nigga, boy.
but
Always on something, bro.
Nigga wasted a generational defense, bro.
Nah, it's a generational defense.
Come on, bro. T. All jokes aside, that Texans defense this year.
Generational shit, man. Y'all just be throwing shit out.
it was an all-time defense, bro.
Loose as hell with the generational shit.
First of all, T, earlier he said the no-fly zone wasn't a generational defense.
First of all, to be generational, you got to be good more than 1 year. To me, more than 1 or 2 years. Like Legion of Boom, that was generational. We saw that shit for a long.
Most
long
defenses don't even stay intact that long.
Hey, who fault is that, brother?
Okay. Last name I got for y'all, man. I got Bryce Young.
Bryce.
We'll go Bryson Tiller Young this time. Man.
Taking Bryce, man.
Okay. Hey, so that'll be it for the show tonight, guys, man. Hey, appreciate those who tuned in to the show once again, man. Remember, we are live every Wednesday and Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern Time. We will be pushing out more content. I will be posting more on TikTok, man. I'm trying to work on being live on TikTok as well when we do the show live like this. Just got to get a new laptop, man. So bear with me. But if you're not doing so already, follow me over there, LastWord Productions on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram, and we are currently on Facebook Live as we speak now. So follow us all platforms, man. Before we head out, though, guys, anything else I want to add?
Oh, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in.
Hey, man. I know y'all missed me yesterday, man. I'm sorry. I won't do that to y'all no more, man. I know y'all missed me yesterday and shit, man.
We're going to stay consistent. Y'all stay consistent. Mike, I hope for missing yesterday, but we still love you, dog.
I was busy, brother. Life called. You know, I had to answer.
It's all good,
bro.
But all right, y'all.
All right, again.